Hello, everyone. It's great to see the excitement building up for the session. We're just about to start, and this is going to be an amazing panel discussion with some of the most distinguished young entrepreneurs on how building a personal brand can drive incredible result for your business. So, a lot of people are already excited, and it's great to see that. So, without further ado, I will just um, ask Vanshika to uh, session to take the lead and get on with the session. Vanshika, can you?
Hello, hello. How
Great.
is everybody doing on this lovely Saturday? We have Gurnoor, we have Saurabh, Krusha, where are you at? Awesome.
Hey.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes, how's everyone doing? I know it's already been
Hello.
sessions. Hi. It's already been a few sessions of the day at Digital Asia. So thanks for coming and attending our session. Let me just quickly introduce the speakers and myself, and then we'll get to questions. We've kept our session internal chat really short because I know this kind of a session always has like 100 questions after. So we're going to try and get as many questions answered because you're never going to have all four of us together again, in this kind of a setup. So here's your chance to start coming up with all the questions that you have. All right, awesome. So hi, my name is Vanchika. I am a brand strategist and a Marcom specialist. I work with D2C and tech brands. I was LinkedIn's top voice last year. I've got over 100,000 connects. I really enjoy giving workshops and sessions on brand strat as well as personal branding. I do consult a few CXOs, handful, very handpicked because it's a very tedious job, as we would all agree. But yeah, that's what I do. And while I'm not working, I'm listening to podcasts, or I'm trying to learn how to cook something new, or I'm troubling my friends. Like, these are the only three options that I have. That being said, let's quickly move on. Yeah. So I have Gurnoor with me. Gurnoor is an online personal brand specialist. She's worked for 11 years in this field. She's the founder of the House of GKP and alumni of YouTube Creator Academy of Year 15, LinkedIn Creator Accelerator Program of 2022, and was also consulting the government of India during COVID-19 as a social media consultant of the National Disaster Management Authority. She's a speaker and a networker, event curator, and she's actually taught more than 4,500 people about personal branding. So it's lovely to have you here. Krusha is a certified career and life coach. She's the director of a global SaaS company called Sociable, and it's focused on employee advocacy and communication. Is an author and is also a LinkedIn top voice. So lovely to have you here. And Saurabh is the founder of Success Brew. It's a growth marketing agency, and as well as he's the founder of the Gold G Club community, which has over 3,000 people in 10 plus countries, and it's incredibly growing incredibly fast. He's also the co-author and associate partner of the international best-selling Golden Book of World Records growth hacking book too. Lovely to have you all here. Thank you for joining and taking time out of your very busy schedules. I'm sure the audience is going to love what we've got prepared, and all of us are prepped to take on the questions that are going to come. So I have one ask from the audience right now, right? First things, it's a two-part ask. It's a give and a take. So first part is that we want you to connect with all of us. We all post a lot on LinkedIn about personal branding, about our careers, about professions, about so much. And we wouldn't want any of you to miss it, whoever's attending here. So if you're not following us already, please go. I've pasted the links in the chat. Go do that. Now the second part, right? And again, this is part of building a community, and you all have invested time to come here. And we want all of you to also build a community amongst yourself. So if everyone who is here attending can quickly go and copy their LinkedIn links, plus maybe a one-liner on what you do. Like, for example, hi, I'm this, I'm a growth marketer working with so-and-so, and then here's my LinkedIn link. If everyone can do this, can you imagine the impact we're going to have on each other? right? And this is not an ask for likes and all of that fancy stuff. This is literally so that you all can learn from each other. You never know where your next opportunity is waiting or your next collaboration is going to happen. So why not make this session worth it so that all of you can interact and learn from each other? So while you're doing that, I'm going to get the questions started as well. Yeah, we're going to have a very candid, fun chat. Feel free to keep interacting in the chat box with us. We don't want to be one-sidedly talking to a screen. If you want and you're comfortable, turn on your cameras. We would love to see some faces rather than boxes. So if that's something you're okay with, go ahead and do it. Let's begin this session, right? Because I feel like personal branding means so many different things to so many different people, and how each of us use our personal brand is again very different. So I'm going to ask all three of the panelists to answer. Saurabh can begin. What is like having a personal brand mean to you? Like, I mean, what is it? What is, if you had to summarize your entire journey, how has it been, and what does it mean to you?
I think it's people know you by when you don't need that introduction every time you go everywhere. And especially I feel this happiness in the events when we go to events. A lot of people already know you, so you are not the one who is going with the visiting card. Okay, main ye karta hu and all. So I think it eases out your work a lot once you have built that online community and shared a lot of content out and build a personal brand. So people know you and somehow they respect you also, whether they have worked with you or not doesn't matter. So that builds a lot of credibility when you are meeting someone very new and the ice is not there to break already.
Right. Very true. Very well said. Gurnur, what's your take on it? What does having a personal brand mean to you?
Wow. Okay. First of all, hi, everyone. It's so nice to be here. I'd like to add up on what Saurabh has to say, 100% in alignment to what he's saying. But I also feel like a personal brand's like a cocktail, you know, it has all the senses, all the flavors of who you are. It's not just what you do, but actually who you are. So, you know, like, it's not necessary that people know you for just your work. They might know you from somewhere else and then get to know you because of your work. And then that's where the conversation starts. It's a lot about, well, the person, right? And people, they're all about relationships and connecting. So I think a personal brand's like a cocktail with all your flavors and all your colors and just being authentic and being you. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's a very nice way to put it. Krisha, what does having a personal brand mean to you?
I think firstly, hi everyone, and I think that's been put so well already. Who you are and what you do is a great compilation of what a personal brand is. But the first thing that came to my head when you asked what is a personal brand, for me, I think is proactively working on yourself and proactively sharing that journey and the outcome with people. The result of which is you become a better person and professional and you help others do the same. So that's like the first thing that kind of came to my mind.
Yeah, that's awesome. And personally, I mean, for me, having a brand has opened so many opportunities up that I never thought would actually happen. Like, for example, this, right? When they reached out to me, I was like super excited. So it's got so many benefits. It's just amazing. You know, and like we can obviously handpick a couple of them, but if you really had to go back and think about the amazing things that have happened because of a personal brand, what are the top two things? Let's start with Gurnur. What are the top two things that have come from having a personal brand, and you can directly correlate it?
So I would say thousands of messages, blessings on my birthday. Right, so it never ends actually for like a week or sort. And second, I never needed to send a cold email for a pitch or sell something that I have. You know, it's all inbound sales. It's 98% inbound sales, I think, and
Yeah.
rest 2% is also referrals, not the cold pitch.
Yeah.
Right? उससे बढ़िया क्या हो सकता है rather than you reaching out to people, people are coming to you every single day, and then you can pick and choose किसके साथ काम करना है, किसके साथ नहीं करना.
That's true. Gurnur, what are your thoughts? What are the two best things that have happened to you?
Oh my God, just two? Okay, that's unfair. So I'm not going to talk about the
That's
sales that I
unfair to
get
say.
because of, I'm not going to talk about the sales that I get. And that was before I had like 1,000 followers, okay? But I'll tell you something, during COVID, what happened was, you know, your network, my business was like 60% on the low. And it was still the most profitable year for me. Why? Because my LinkedIn was like, you know, when everyone was going online, my personal brand was already shining. So in terms of opportunities, this opportunity is, of course, even though Vanshika, I've known you for years, the recall value built among the network is because of that. And I think I'd also say that building a community, I never thought that the love that I receive, no matter every time I make myself vulnerable, that it's not just you going out there, everybody, like people, the DMs that you get, it's like you're not alone, you know, and that community, that warmth, that stays on forever. So I think that I'll say that opportunities and community, definitely.
Awesome. Krisha?
Yeah, I think for me, it's interesting. Like, I was thinking about it, and I'm a multi-passionate professional, and I like doing multiple things. And I think the three main things I do, all three have benefited from a personal brand when I think about it. So the very first thing, I love writing. I'm an author, and I love writing, and I've been writing all my life, even if not monetarily, for a large part of it. And obviously, like, writing on LinkedIn, having someone read what you write and being impacted by it, I think is the biggest for me, that keeps me going. It also works for me. I started my coaching business about 2 years ago, and I do zero marketing. I have limited bandwidth on how many clients I take, and all of it comes from my personal brand with absolute zero marketing. And I also have a day job at Sociable where I'm growing this business, and I get direct business leads even for my company, so my company benefits out of it with me as well. And I think so it pretty much benefits everything. It's hard to pick the number of opportunities, but it's like well rounded across. No matter what you do, it works.
That's awesome. It's lovely to hear. And that is proof of how important it is to have a personal brand. But let's talk about the flip side. And I think Gunur will be the best to answer this question. What is the biggest mistake that you see people doing when they try and build their personal brand? Because I have seen quite a few of these, what we would like to call as faux pas, but let's hear it from the expert. Share with us
Oh
some
my
of the big.
God. It's so I'll put it like this, like it's like people don't know why they're doing what they're doing. Okay, I think it just comes down to your core. Like, why are you writing? Why are you talking about a specific topic? What is that big picture that you have for yourself? People don't even have that awareness for themselves. And it, like Krisha was saying, it's a personal journey in itself. But you have to have an understanding, that awareness in yourself. Like, why are you writing? So I think the first is, of course, the why of who you are, and then comes down to what are your business goals, what are your career goals, and then breaking that down to, okay, what is your content strategy, what is the kind of content that you, so that initial thing about the why isn't there. The strategy, forget the strategy. Everybody just wants to भावनाओं में बहते हैं, मतलब क्यों? Like, it's not a journal, guys. You have a diary for that, but personal brand has to be structured, and nobody has the time to do that. Like, so don't waste your time. So I think not having the why, not having a structure is the biggest faux pas, and it's a waste of time if you're building your brand without any thought. Yeah.
That's very well said. Saurabh, I have a question for you, because I know you love writing content and you post like every day consistently. And I know you just crossed 150,000. So let's give him a huge round of applause, because that's not easy. To get to 150,000 on LinkedIn is a lot of freaking work. So how much content is too much content? कब खत्म होता है ये? Like, do you have to post every day? You post times? How do you do it?
Like Krusha said, that you are on a journey, you're sharing that journey with your audience, okay? So, and like Krusha also, like I always say, a person cannot be passionate about one thing. Either a person is passionate, so whatever he will do with a lot of passion, right? So I also have multiple things, and the life is just expanding back to back. So I want to share everything actually. Even if I write 4 pieces of content every day on LinkedIn, I will not get enough of it. Then the algorithm sucks you in and it doesn't get anything. So that's why I stick to one post a day at least, right? Okay. And I think, moreover, for me, it has never been a strategy part. But yes, I took Vanshika's help to differentiate my brands, community, business, and personal. Everything is very, very different, right? So yellow color is the brand color. Okay, I always wear this shirt, right?
Interesting. I didn't know that.
So I think this is one part where I say it is not about enough. Just don't stretch it for the just sake of posting. As soon as you're feeling about it, something, post it. Whether somebody sees it or not, one person likes it, it's good, right? And I think as a piece of share हो सकता है कि मैंने जो बोला बहुत सारे लोगों के काम का नहीं था, but for one person it becomes a guiding light. One thing small, so that one thank you message is enough.
Yeah,
Right, so
I
don't stretch it like a rubber band chewing gum कि भाई बस ये कुछ तो आज डालूंगा मैं, वो
yeah.
बने ना बने, so that becomes too much of unnecessary content. Until unless you're feeling something good about it, do share it out, no problem.
Agreed, agreed. So we have with us, as you all probably know already, Krusha and Gurnoor, and they're part of the LinkedIn Creator Accelerator program. And I particularly put this question in because I want to know what is happening behind the scenes. So can you guys, either one of you, whoever wants to go first, tell us how it's been, tell us what happened. What did you
I'll let Guru tell you what is happening, but what is happening behind the scene is a WhatsApp group that doesn't stop buzzing. It's probably what is happening.
Krusha, you go ahead and take this. Miss Top Voice, you please take the first voice
On
on
LinkedIn,
this.
on the WhatsApp group, I'll get like the bottom voice of the of the group. No, I think honestly, for me, I'll at least tell you what it did for me. Meeting people like Gurnoor and like amazing creators over here, to be very transparent, made me for the first time maybe, and I'm not being humble or stupid about it, but it's true that I think for the first time I saw myself as a creator. uh, I love writing.
Yeah.
I've always been a writer. LinkedIn turned out to be a medium that rewarded good writing in the sense that one of those mediums, at least when we started also, was not only video based, and as long as you wrote well, the algorithm kind of supported you. It wasn't very lost. So I think it was the first time talking about subjects like the creator economy, what avenues a creator can have, what a personal brand means beyond the writing and beyond the help you give people and the leads that come in, beyond the basics. It was quite an eye opener for me, and it continues to be. I learn to the extent I can, but I think the people and these topics were definitely a game changer for me.
Awesome. Gurnoor, what has your experience been?
Oh my God. Okay. So I had already been training like I'd been building personal brands for more than half a decade by that time, and been in the industry for over a decade. And I think that was the first time I was nervous as hell. I was like, I went inside thinking I don't know anything, and I really learned everything from my peers. One thing I definitely saw was that the number of followers was not a criteria, because I had like 2,000, and then there were people who had less than me. And what mattered was the value and the conversations that you're kind of creating over there. I am a journalist by padai, but I never actually used my writing skills till one of my peers said, "Oh, maybe you should write a little more." And now there's no holding back. There's no videos going up much. There's nothing else. I've really enjoyed the process of totally, screwing up my own brain and like doing something completely crazy. Being more vulnerable. I got spotlighted globally as the LGBT, one of the LGBTQ people, speaking about visibility during Pride Month. And that was the first time I came out in a professional space. It was scary as hell. LinkedIn has made me grow as an individual. This month I'm talking about epilepsy, which is something that I've had since I was 12. It's so nice, like sort of was saying, like getting that one message. I think this community, I think not just LikeApp, but even beyond, people are so nice on LinkedIn. The ROI in terms of not just the business aspect, but in terms of the community aspect is so beautiful. And I think better than the mentorship and the money that we got for being those creators. I think that the friends that I made in the process were more important. And yeah, it's been a beautiful journey. And I hope that everyone in the audience does not gives it a shot. Like, it doesn't matter how many followers you have. If you think that you have something to say, trust me, you really don't know what they might be looking for. We still don't know. I don't know. I don't know, maybe Pusha knows.
Awesome. So I'm an open question to whoever wants to take it. A lot of people like overcomplicate building a brand and they think like, oh my God, team chahiye, ye chahiye, wo chahiye, right? Open question to all of you. Do you really need a team or can you do it yourself? Because I have been doing it myself and like it does require a little bit of planning, a little bit of structure, like Gurnoor said, right? Like you have to think about your content and not just shit post, which was happening for a little bit on LinkedIn. And now it's gone back to what it was, which was good quality content. But you know, I do it myself. I think Saurabh also. I think Saurabh has a team. I would love to hear your thoughts. Like, are you doing it yourself? Do you have a team? How do you work with it? Anyone who wants to.
I think for me, I mean, I definitely do it on my own. I do think though, because I have spoken to a lot of people who are, working with people who help them as well. A lot of it also comes from like what is your intention with the personal brand or what is your motivation to do it. I think for me it's a no-brainer that I would not outsource it because my favorite thing to do, it's like therapy for me. I love writing. So I'm not going to give away like that part of my day to someone else. But I think I do see some people benefit from the help, because if they don't have the bandwidth or the time, especially certain CXOs where it's not so much about themselves, it's more about the business and that kind of situation, I could see why it would work to help. I think as long as you can retain the personal in the brand though, then it's okay.
Yeah, I would agree. Very well put. Saurabh, what has your experience been?
I think as long as I was only working on LinkedIn, it was very easy for me to manage every single day. And so when these business opportunities expand, then you are so much occupied in different things. And I think writing needs a bit of mental peace to think about, bring a thought, and then you write. So I think LinkedIn, I'm still taking care of myself, but then Twitter also came, then Instagram also started. So I'm now learning Instagram video editing and all reels and all everything right together. So
Are you
I
going
think
to
also,
start pointing wala
although, yeah.
like those wale pointing wale reels?
I'm gonna say, my rule for Instagram Reels is whatever I can make without any editing, that I just have to talk and add caption. That's my
Right.
rule.
So I think as long as you feel it is comfortable, not harming your business, do it yourself. But yes, find out your core activity of your day. And I think for me, it is my sales calls, because I'm the biggest salesman of my company. First of all, that thing is taken care of. After that, whatever time I get, I spend on Twitter. We have now started a productivity community on Twitter also. So need to write threads for that also. But yes, help is there. So people who want to take help, a message for them, don't just outsource completely, right? It's take it done with you project.
Yes,
Never
I
do it done for you project. Get involved in your messagings. So like I get a lot of requests from founders, and when I get that request, I accept it and I message them. There's no response to it.
yeah.
And then I realize after sometimes somebody else is managing their profiles and they're not even bothered to respond on DM. Then why are you even connecting?
Yeah.
That is the point of personal branding, right? If you're connecting with someone, at least respond to it, right? So अगर उतना भी time नहीं है, फिर मत करो outsource, sorry. Okay, then it won't help. Just create some content. And yes, outsourcing can harm badly because the other person can have a very different mindset than you.
Yeah.
So find the right match for you. This is a very different kind of outsourcing to find out actually who can resonate with your thoughts as a person first.
Yeah. Gurnoor, how do you do it at JKB?
Well, I've done both, okay, and I've done both for myself and I've done both for my clients. So I've seen both sides of the coin. Well, I had about 1.5 year back, till 1.5 year back, I had an agency vertical. So we did for clients, etc. Actually, did not. I just didn't feel like. So as an entrepreneur, I was like, I just don't want to do it, and that's the honest answer. So I closed the vertical down. But when I had that in-house team, I used to get them to kind of create my content. Create in the sense of editing, in terms of going back and refurbishing what I'd already written when I'd written it by myself, putting it in my words. My words are extremely important. And, like getting those done in different formats and then having them understand me and my, of course, going through the caption itself. But I'll be very honest with you, I have never, ever allowed anyone to touch my LinkedIn, ever. And I never will. Okay. Let me be very clear. Okay. And I never will. I will make the time for it. My Instagram has never been touched. But everything else, I'm like, okay, you know what? It's okay. That is one thing. Second is that today, in fact, I run a program. So today we were talking about automation and actually automating your personal brand, and we talked a lot about scheduling and the prep that goes behind it. And I know that the two of you kind of probably do it not like as a business, like I have a very I have to run a business, I have to run the personal brand. If I don't run the personal brand, how will I run the business? Because I am the business and the personal brand itself. Like it's a whole, it's crazy, right? So I've come up with a system which kind of says that, you know what, also the thing is that my mindset is like, you know what, Gunur, it's not hard to write. Okay, you have to have a structure in mind. You have to have that mind space. You put it in your system, like in your day, like an atomic habit, and then you just kind of create and create in bulk. If you create in bulk, when you're in that zone, I think you can really create a lot of magic. And of course, as time goes on, please, I know that you guys write for, I love writing. I've won awards in writing, but in the sense, I think when you're building a personal brand, it's more important to be more out there rather than just being like, oh, today I feel like writing, today I don't feel like writing. I'm not talking about the two of you guys, because you guys have been doing it consistently, right? Like there's a habit there. You have to be consistent, whether that's once in a week or it's like 5 times in a week. So I think using a team is if you're going to outsource at this point, the only time you should outsource is if you're getting busy, and do it for like video editing or like graphic, but please write your captions yourself. Like that's your voice. And and if you're choosing somebody to kind of take professional help from, ensure that their values match with you. All my clients are crazy. They're crazy just like me. So I don't even work with anyone who's not crazy. So, I'm really sorted on that. So your values need to match. They need to have a system. They need to be technical, and outsource only the editing and stuff if you have to.
Yeah. Very interesting. So just coming back to what you were saying, right? I'll tell you how funny this is, because nobody really believes me when I say it. But my posting on LinkedIn and my breakfast time are correlated. So when I'm eating breakfast, I'm in my head, and I've been doing this consistently for 6 years. I don't even have a content calendar. Half of my content is created because of conversations with founders or something that I've read or a podcast that I've heard. And my way of being consistent, and because I have that time while I'm eating breakfast, I literally speak into my phone, and what you see posted is literally like what is in my head at that point. And it's really weird because people don't believe it when I say I do
habit stacking, Vanshika.
Yeah,
You're
it's
doing
I
it
do this.
perfectly. Yeah.
I do this in the morning when my cook and all are there. I do this.
Yeah, so I think it's correlated to I eat breakfast, which I'll do every day. That means I have to post on LinkedIn every day, and you put them together, it is a magic winning formula. But that being said, also, right, a lot of people have zones where they're comfortable of doing a particular task in that zone based on whatever productivity time slot you have, right? So this works for me. You might be someone who feels super energized after lunch, and after that huge plate of biryani, and you're like, let's get right. And you whatever works for you. Yeah, at the end of the day, you'll get so much gyan on ye abhi post karo, ye udhar karo, post at 9:31 a.m. because Shubh Muhurat hai 9:31 pe. All of that is very crap. Trust me, I posted at random hours. Funnily enough, on our chat, Gurnur was telling us about a post she posted at 1 a.m. at night, and it took off. No, I asked all 3 of them, do you have a posting time, or none of us had an answer to that.
The posting time is do the post.
Do the post.
Post whenever you can, and it comes in your head. Post. Simple. Simple logic. Awesome. One more question from my side, because I see there are questions that are going to come in, and I want to answer as many as we can. I think Krishna and Saurabh, either of you can take this. What's your experience been with the dark social, right? And what I'm referring to is, for example, referrals, right? Like a lot of times on LinkedIn, and we've talked about this a little briefly, right? That, hey, someone like remembers you at some point and is like, oh, hey, Saurabh, to ye kuch karta hoga, let's have a chat. And that those are like very random people who you've kind of chatted with at some point or interacted through with a friend or a friend of a friend. How has that been working for you guys? And how do you manage this? Because managing dark social is something that nobody, I think, has figured out because it just happens. But if you have a way, I mean, happy to hear what your thoughts are on this.
So I have a lead section that says bonus leads. So
Acha.
anything that is
So
coming
smart. I want to steal that.
anything that
Yeah, I
is
like
coming
it.
from this section of forgotten people, and sometimes people also say, okay, somebody referred me to you, I don't also remember. Like, बहुत दिन पहले नंबर exchange किया था, but I am contacting you after 6 months, so I don't remember who did that. So, like, this is something you are referring to dark social, right? Like, no, people
Yes,
don't know
yes.
they are connected. So I think this happens. Why? I'll tell you. Sometimes people see you. Let's say somebody meets me in a party and I'm wearing very dirty clothes or own t-shirt zone and all, and they ignore me. They don't see me like that. Correct. And then they see you on LinkedIn, "Arey bhai, ye to kuch aur hi hai." Right? Okay. So it happens with me also. I also ignore some people sometime. But after the event on social media, you get to know, "Arey, ye to bahut kuch kar raha hai." Correct. Okay. So we have a habit of judging. We are natural human beings. We do that. So that comes to my bonus section, okay, of connectivity. Then I connect with them again. And I think it has been a wonderful part, especially there are chunks of people. Like suddenly in past 6 months, my school friends came back, college friends came back. No, okay, Saurabh, what are you doing? Ab unke 10 saal ho gaye, job ke 10-12 saal. So they want to do something different. Even from my job time, people are coming back. Okay, can we do something different apart from mechanical industry? So it keeps happening all the time. I even found people, like there was a company where I gave interview and they rejected me. This guy who interview coming back and say, help me leave my job. Like I was like, who the hell are you? He said, I took your interview and I rejected you, man. Like, okay, that's why I don't remember you now.
Have you done a post about this, Saurabh?
Not yet. I will.
You should. You
Sounds
should.
like a
It's so
post.
Sounds
funny.
like a post.
Definitely make a post. Krisha, what are your thoughts? Has this happened to you? Have you seen any of this?
I would say not as processed as Sora for sure. Definitely stealing the idea. I like it for the future. But I think yeah, definitely does happen. Especially because I think most of my content never has a link. Like it's not like go purchase or go book now for things like that. Most of it is just content coming there and it gets circulated. Now we have like LinkedIn content gets circulated via WhatsApp as well, and you never know who sees it and replies, but because they've seen it on some group or because they've seen it through a forward. So definitely get those messages. I don't think I have a process system to handle it, but I think as it grows you would need one, like Saurabh does. But I think they are, as I like the word bonus leads, because I think they make a really, I think they have a fun, positive sound connotation to the kind of leads. And I think the more they come, it's a good sign that the personal brand is growing. I think there's no other
And I
negative way
think
to
there's
look at
one
it.
more part of this dark social is that, like me and Krusha, we have been only commenting on chats. Like,
Yeah, that is actually so
सिर्फ
true.
comments पे बात कर रहे हैं. It's been almost 2 years, right?
Yeah.
We never exchanged number. We never spoken to each other on like. Otherwise, for me, it's like अगर 2-3 बार comment chat
Yeah.
होता है, so we get on
But
a
that's
good call.
very me. And I have to say, I have that with so many people because I have a limited like time I can spend on my phone. It's just how it is. And so I
there's
have that
a lot of
relationship with a couple of people, like on just like a few like really nice people, like Saurabh, but I will really know so much about them. And I know so much, not just about the work they do, but because your personal brand, gives off your personality as well. And I think even for Gunur would know, like even in the Leak app, there are so many people that, I would not pick up the phone on and I would not join every chat. It's not me. I can't do it all the time.
Right.
But I can still you still feel connected to a lot of these people that you've actually just known digitally through their content, which is pretty cool.
So Gunur and I met in, I think,
WeWork.
2019 at WeWork. I think I was like sitting on a sofa or something and she was sitting next to me. And I think that's how the conversation started. Very
Yeah.
typical of a WeWork. And like, I don't think I've actually called her up or talked to her in years either. I think I just like have been texting her like, go know this, go know that. Like
Yeah.
she keeps me updated with what's happening. Like I think friendships like that are like very nice, non-intrusive. You know what's happening, and everybody's up to
I
date.
mean, literally in the same building. We still did.
Yeah,
So, and I'd
I
like to tell
didn't.
the audience that, actually, Krusha is a great example of having a great balance when it comes to digital.
Yes,
Like,
yes.
like if she's made it to top voice, having this is something that I think we've all learned in the last few days. That amazing balance, and you should probably hit her up later, I'd say, to learn about this balance.
We
So,
are not deleting this group until unless we three learn to switch off from my time.
Yes, we need to learn how to be Zen like Krusha, digitally very congested
digital
and
well-being, yeah.
very in your face world. But yes, Krusha has some Zen tips. You should definitely talk to
Yeah,
Krusha.
probably for another webinar. Yeah.
Yes, we should. All
Because
right,
I
let's
think we
get
have a couple
going.
of questions coming in.
Yes. I was about to say, let's get going with the question. So Arvind is asking, is there an ideal growth trajectory or a plan that one can follow so that we do it in a more structured way? Gunur, if you want to start with your experience.
Sure. I think the first step is always like I'd already mentioned, the why is very important. Then understanding, actually writing down your business goals are very important, like your business or your career goals, and not just in the sense of just personal branding, but like holistically. And then kind of breaking those goals down into, okay, which social media platform is my industry most active on, my audience, and also where am I more comfortable in being. Like Krusha loves to write, so like LinkedIn is beautiful for writing. So like you got to understand, maybe you're good at videos, so maybe YouTube is for you, but you look at your industry. So once you figure that out, then after that you figure out, okay, what is the kind of conversations that I would like to talk about? And you have to have a mix, and you have to be always, I'd say, always be giving value in your, even if you're like, I think that if I write a post about, this digital summit, I'm Digital Asia Summit, I'm not going to just write about, oh, I was here. I'll write about what I learned from my peers. So, you're always even if it's entertainment, it's now infotainment. So always give value, always showcase who you are surrounded by. A lot of your personal brand is a lot of like, let's look at yourself like a star. I think you need to consider yourself as a star for that matter. And like, understand that if you want people to be attracted to you, it's a pull strategy. So what attracts you to people, like who are they surrounded by, that aspirational brand that's there. Consider yourself like a Rolls Royce. Okay, I'd always think about those kind of things when I want to position myself. So that's the way you want to project yourself. That's how you choose your content buckets, the kind of things that you do. I think that's a very simple step. Goals, platform, and content. But it has to go in that order. There's no other way that I have figured. Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks for that. Priyakshi is asking, could you talk a little bit about building a personal brand of leadership and executives of global organizations from social media as well as a PR perspective? Saurabh, do you want to start, and then Krusha can take it?
Okay, let me read the question again. Could you talk a bit about building a personal brand of leadership executives of global organization board? Okay, that's awesome. Actually, this is I think this is one thing that I'm fighting with a lot of organizations in. And I think these are the people who really don't have time, or maybe coming from their own old school thoughts. They are not writers. They don't enjoy writing right now. Okay. So a tough place to build a personal brand for sure, to push them to change their mindset, because I have seen like three parts here. There are people like four of us. We enjoy life, we find out time, we have our own things. Okay, so sometime I just want to talk about my travel journey. Okay, if I travel somewhere, how was it all about? So I took, like, when I need to take those casual videos, so I took Instagram now. Okay, let's let it go on Instagram because people love it there, not on LinkedIn. And then there are people who are around above 45 somewhere today. So for them, all this daily thing is about कि क्या boosting करना है कि तुमने कुछ किया है life में, right? So they don't want to do it that way. I think we have to go more subtle for them in terms of the knowledge they have, the experience they have, and it is not easy that somebody else can write your life experiences. So I think a very catch-22 situation here. They will not write, and somebody else cannot write for them.
Yeah.
both the ways, and not let their LinkedIn profile to be touched by someone else. So, catchy situation that I'm trying to solve as of now. So, I have worked with a few people like that, and what I've given them is the basic strategy, and I help them understand the kind of topics they can write. So, I divided their life into 7 parts, the 7 different parts. And I said, okay, these are your professional experience, these are your personal experiences, these are your travel experiences, these are your job switch experiences, or something like that. And now they are happy, okay, now I have a topic, so as soon as I have a topic in hand, I can write now. It's easy.
Mm.
So we created those kind of strategies for them, and now they are writing. And I think if 7, 8 good executives of a big organization are creating a personal brand, it's gonna be anyway high on PR, because they will get so many opportunities as speakers on bigger forums, and PR just happens. I think with Digital Asia Summit, so much PR happened we never imagined about it, right?
Yeah.
So actually, PR happens for free, I think. A lot of PR that is being paid with that kind of a thing. And that's what I'm trying to say to a lot of companies, that you have 500, 1,000 employees sometime, and you are spending money on influencer marketing, you're actually wasting money. Why not 1,000 employees talk about your own brand and product?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very true.
So that solves the problem actually. But these people will need a thought, a thread. कि, okay, यहाँ से you can start. So they won't think of strategy and goals. You have to create it for them, and then they will do, because that's their habit of working in a corporate structure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I
Prashant,
think yeah, I think I'll pipe in from the corporate side, because we do this at Sociable, for example, all the time. Of course, it's the technology side of it that we have a product that does this for companies. But the good news is that we have a lot of companies in India as well. Of course, it's something that started globally, but now a lot of companies in India who are thinking about this, who are running, RFPs to find the right tool to help their employees become advocates, which I think is a great time to be. So while we talk about the personal side of it, that an employee needs to get active, I think I love the fact that we have companies now taking the initiative to get the right tool in place to make it convenient to provide employees with the right kind of content, with the right kind of training, the right kind of incentives, the right kind of data for them and the company to see, okay, this works. And as Saurabh said, instead of spending that much, it's not an either or, but instead of spending just that much on a influencer, you have your most engaged influencers internally. If you manage to do a good job with them, then there's no stopping you, and you have data to prove it. And then once you see it, you keep going, is what I've seen with most corporates.
Yeah, awesome. Arvind also back again with another question saying, what was your best ever hack that surprised you? Mine, I'll just chime in first and then whoever wants to take it. I think mine was that comments is actually a really good way to get to know someone. Like, it's so underrated because you can have a full conversation in the comments. And the thing is also that if your comment is good and it makes sense and is relatable, people will like it. So it automatically bumps up to the post, which also gives you free publicity because anybody reading that post will read your comment if it's liked a lot, right? So like it's such a big win-win. Yes, it takes time, which is why I believe in being smart about commenting. It's not about the length, it's about what are you saying. Even if it's like, if you can cram 50 words or like 3 different thoughts into 3 sentences, it's better that way than writing a huge paragraph because no one's going to read it. Everybody's like on LinkedIn for scrolling and learning and kind of collaborating and networking, right? So keep it short, keep it crisp, but like if your comment is super relatable, it'll actually get bumped to the top, which gives you a shit ton of free publicity and viewership. So that's my hack. Anyone else that wants to go first?
I think same thing worked very well for me. To give an example, one of my comments, like Arjun Vaidya pinned it, and that comment
Yeah.
went well for me. Kind of like there were 150 likes on that comment only. So I think one good thing about comments is if there is a well engaged post and you're writing something good there. So let's say there are 300 comments on it, and as soon as you comment, these 300 people get a one-to-one notification. That's the most amazing algorithm that people, I think, don't budge in every single day. And they're like, who will comment on 30 posts or 15? I said, do it 10, 15, whatever you can. And you need to really the part of building your feed with the right people is a task here first. Because finding the post and then commenting is a tedious task. So you have to just engage with right set of audience for some time to get your feed right. right? So like for Gurnur, Vanshika, Krusha, like they are on my feed every day. I did not do anything about it because we are engaging with each other for a long time now, right? This is something LinkedIn will not miss me show it. So I think this is magic. Second is I went ahead beyond towards a vulnerable side of the stories in terms of storytelling. So I wrote my personal story in a 39-page carousel and I closed 2 unicorn clients because of that. Right?
Nice.
They were
That's
looking
amazing.
for influencer marketing, but they said in influencer marketing, we need good storytelling. We just don't want a content that is about selling my product. Right? So that happened because of just good storytelling content. Like knowledge आप दे सकते हो. Knowledge is one thing, but binding it in a good story, bringing the moral. जैसे हम बचपन में पढ़ते थे, okay, this is the story, then moral of the story, something like that. So that has worked a lot for me.
Yeah.
I think
Awesome.
for me, video. Both.
Yes.
I think video was a surprising thing for me in two ways. One was I don't even remember the first time I decided to put a video. I think I was making a video for Instagram and I said let's just put it on LinkedIn and we'll see what happens. No captions, nothing. And especially because I am someone who likes writing and that's why I was on LinkedIn. It was new and it got a lot of love and I think that was a surprising hack for me and I still continue to do it. And the other interesting thing with video was during Leap, I said, okay, we were learning about editing and all these things. I said, okay, let me attempt to edit my videos. And, I did like 2 or 3 edited versions of the videos and they got less engagement than my unedited videos. So I was like, thank you, audience. You want me to do less work. And I do not want to continue editing anyway after this is over. So it was a surprising act for me that the unfiltered, like I literally just put my camera in front of me. I am always in it's just like home clothes that I work in. I have zero anything on myself or the video. It's very plain, but it works. So that was a surprising. I don't know if it's a hack, but that was surprising for me.
No, I also did post 2, 3 videos recently, very raw, simple, without captions, nothing. So there was not even a lot of engagement, with the number of views are consistently growing on them.
And comments.
And comments. No, so for me, there are no comments, but views are growing consistently.
That's interesting. For me, my videos have lesser views than reach.
Yeah. So if it's a 90-second kind of video, people love it because it's easier than reading that much of a content.
Yeah.
True.
Awesome. All right. Sorry,
Am I going to be giving my hack? Because I've been waiting, okay? I have to say my bit.
Now we have to hear it, Gurnu.
I have to, because my story is completely the opposite of these guys. It's the complete opposite. I'm very structured person with you gotta write value and you gotta write it in points, etc., etc. And here we have 3 storytellers who've been building their brand because they love it. And I've been doing it because I have to, right? But then this time I was a creator and I completely switched the game. I used to make videos, and of course, Krusha, you might remember how Nas completely took my thing and audited it. So that was not fun. But realized
it was picked.
It was very scary. But what happened in this entire journey was that I found for me the hack was that, first of all, it's way easier than even I had thought. I literally thought I had every hack, but every hack on the planet. And I realized it's so much easier. All you have to do is bloody just lower your barriers and tell a story. And I was like, man, I have 20 billion stories to tell, and it was so easy. And I was like, I can make so much more money with this. Okay. So I think my hack is that don't put so much thought into it. Put a mix of things. But really just how Vanshika does it, voice note it or whatever, or make it on your notes. I do a lot of notes,
I have a WhatsApp group with myself.
Yes.
I used to send my husband notes. I would send my husband and he got very tired of it. So he said, please, he created a WhatsApp group with myself and said, please talk to yourself.
Absolutely. My hack is definitely my Apple Notes. It goes onto my Mac. I just copy paste, love the emojis. And that's about it. And I love the comment bit of it. I mean, I think we're all we're more comment friends than we're any other kind of friends, honestly.
It's a new term now. We're gonna coin the term now.
Comment.
Awesome. I think we had such a
Okay, so
I think-
I'll make a post now that, okay, tag your comment friend in the comments, then let's
There,
tag
see.
everybody.
Saurabh's created like 3 posts in the last half an hour already.
Yeah,
Please
that's
tag
not
us.
bad, man.
Give us some credit. Thanks. Okay, that being said, it has been a lovely, lovely session. It's been so engaging, so fun. I hope that everyone listening has taken away some really interesting, valuable lessons. If you have and you feel like it's something worth sharing, and we believe ideas are worth sharing, side note to TEDx. But anyway, point being, if you've enjoyed the session, go talk about it on LinkedIn. We're giving you a ton of content to talk about. You should have like a week of content just from here. So go post all of the stuff that you've learned. Take photos of us right now if you want. We're all just here and happy. We're in our vibe. We're in our zone. Have fun. Stay in touch. Connect up with each other. And don't give up. Right? If it looks hard in the beginning, it is. Don't give up. Keep climbing the mountain, because you're going to do awesome stuff if you just stay consistent. So on that note, have a good one, and we will see all of you around on LinkedIn. If you post about this session, tag all of us, tag Digital Asia, and that's the best thing you can do for yourself and all of us. Take care. See you guys. Have a good
Bye,
weekend.
everyone. Have a lovely
Bye.
Saturday
It was
night.
really nice
Bye-bye.
being
Thank
here.
you,
Thank you,
everyone.
Vanshika.
Thanks
Thank
a
you, Prashant.
lot.
Bye, Saurabh. Bye-bye.